And everyone is muted. Okay, so hello everyone. Welcome to our team call tonight. Today is October 11th, and we have a very, very, very special guest. Tonight we have Melitza Martinez, who is one of the founders of Lead Well Legacy. She is also, I have her stats so I don't mess them up. She's also a 3-star qualifying coach, 2013 Premier Coach. She is the Beast Barbies captain, and they actually came in second place in 2013. Sorry. 2013 for Team Cup. I mean, this is from the entire Beachbody company. So that is amazing. And she's been 27 months consecutively in Hitting Success Club. So Melitza, actually Anna was with me at that training where she told her story, and it just broke me down. It really, I really connected with her story, and I had to have her on our call, and I asked her to please share her story with my team. And the thing is, knowing your story is super important for our business because you connect with people. And Melissa's going to share hers, and she'll be able to tell you guys why, it's so important to tell your story. And she also has a couple of tricks to tell us about volume, how to use put the coaches in the right so that we can produce more volume. So Melitza, the floor is yours. But tell us a little bit first before you tell us your story, how you came into Beachbody.
First of all, thank you very much for inviting me on this call. I know how much your team means to you, how much you value them, and I don't give up my Sundays for anybody, but for Gabby, I'd give up my whole Sunday.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you guys for having me on the call. It means a lot. I came to Beachbody because, let me close the door, hold on, because my husband hates this story, so hold on a second. He was in the living room, but I hear him coming up the stairs. I'm like, oh. So Saudi happens to be an ex-girlfriend of my ex-boyfriend. So I get a notification that Saudi's requesting me, and I'm like, what the hell does she want? What does she want from me? And oh my God, okay, but I'll go ahead and accept her. And now I'm stalking her, and I'm like looking at her life, and she's getting married, and she just got married, and she's talking about she's losing weight, and she's down 40, and I'm like, oh, she tied her stomach. She's down 60, and I'm like, she definitely tied her stomach. Why is she lying to people? So it just so happened then, this is something that pay attention because it really is meaningful. One of my friends put together an invitation and asked me if it was okay if she added everybody to this invitation. She invited my people from my friend list, and I said, of course. Somehow Saudi ended up in this invitation, and another friend said, do you mind if I hit her up because she's losing weight? Do you really know her? I said, so her the story, I actually don't know her, but it seems like she is. I don't know how legit it is, but let's, call her, let's see. So it ended up being that my upline coach, Madeline, got together with Saudi, and Madeline, within like the first 3 weeks of being part of, Saudi's team, started losing like crazy weight. So I was like, okay, maybe this thing is for real. So then I was talked to Saudi, asked, I'm like, I'm in. What do I need to do? I want to become a coach. She said to me, I want you to become a coach. I said, I don't want to do this. This is not for me. I want it for the discount like everybody else, obviously. And she's like, no, but, I said, Saudi, be honest with me. If you need me as a coach, I'll join. But, I want to help you. I don't know Madeline. Madeline works in my building. She's somebody that just requested me for my building. So, and she said, no, actually, you would be helping me if you join under Madeline because I get to become a diamond, whatever the hell that was. And I was like, okay, I'm helping her. She's helping me. Let me do this. I joined. Saudi becomes a diamond. Madeline becomes an emerald. The rest is history. I fell in love with the business. I fell in love with what was happening to me, with my transformation, and everybody asking me for the first time in my life after trying a million diets, what are you doing? And being honestly able to say, I'm working out and I'm drinking the shake that actually is healthy for me and not popping all these pills that probably will have me without a liver by the age of 50. I did a lot of crazy things. So that's how I got to Beachbody. And honestly, the business to me was never appealing because I work at a place where I've been at for 16 years. And I don't know, I had that stupid poverty mentality that I was going to be there till the age of 62. And maybe, hopefully, I can make it to 67 so I could extend my Social Security, but I never, ever really thought that there was something else. And then, of course, comes Alisa. And Alisa's always been like figuring everything out. I'm going to do everything, and she's going to conquer the world and join me. Let's do this now. And I'm like, all right, Alisa says this is good. I'll do it. There's been times in the beginning of the year that I was like, oh, hell no, this is not for me. But I would never let my cousin down, and that's why I didn't quit. And I'm so glad that I've been this person that I don't like to let people down, because I probably would have quit within a year if it wasn't because of her. So let me tell you that's the whole how I got into it. I believed in her. I believed in what she had to offer. I stuck by. I wasn't going to let her down. And then cycles started coming in, and I was like, oh, this shit is real. It does happen. So that's how I stayed. So you want me to talk to you a little bit about my story. Okay. First of all, I am a mother of two kids. She acts like a boy sometimes. A boy and a girl. I married to my high school sweetheart. We've been together since 14. So you'll ask where I had the boyfriend in between. I had that boyfriend that was Saudi was in between, by the way. We broke up, my husband and I, for a while.
That's why he doesn't like that story.
That's why I closed the door. So anyway, okay, so we've been together for a very long time. I got pregnant at the age of 16, trying to get out of home because I was raised as a spoiled brat. My mother and her sister, since as long as I can remember, owned a factory together. They opened up a factory in Broadway, Lafayette. These two women were total representation of what you would call a boss babe. These women were up out of their house at 4 a.m. I'm not kidding. And it was 6, 7 in the evening. And they were home. That's when they come home. Tired, stressed out, the pressure of having employees, of not meeting the quota that they were supposed to give to these Jewish, people that would provide work to them, that would give them work. Never showing up to my school. I don't think I can say once that my mother came to a play, that my mother came to a parent meeting, that she ever was anywhere. And I think I used to tell this story and really tear up and cry because it used to make me feel bad about myself. Like, is it me? And now is that I'm like, wow, now I understand. All these sacrifices, all this was for me. And I just didn't get it. Okay, so I've been working since the age of 13 with her. We go to the factory work. At the age of 14, when I turned 14, all these dreams that my mother and her sister had, my mother and her sister were sending money every year to Dominican Republic, every month, to build. They literally bought out this whole block between, Kelly's mother and my mother are sisters too. Between Kelly's mother, my mother, and the other sister, they bought out a whole block. They had started building houses. But what happened? One day, the Chinese people moved into Lafayette, and what my mother used to produce at $2 a piece, they used to sew for 2 cents a piece. So that business that my mother built and her sister in 20-something years of working, of giving up their family life, of never being there, of not showing up, like she had no clue who my teachers were. My mother would go register me, pay tuition. All my stuff was always paid for. I never had a problem. I'd call her and say, I need Timberlands. How much are they? $140? Oh, daddy's going to give you the money. I never had a problem with any of that. But I didn't have a mother. And this is why I bust my ass now with Beachbody, because that's not happening to my daughter. Like every time I think of it, last week I had this happen to me. I walked her to school and she said, so you're really not going to, she's in the process of interviewing for junior high schools. And I told my boss, I'm not letting you know right now, this is going to be a tough year. I'm not going to be here a lot of times. I'm going to be there. But this certain date, they threw a date at us to go visit a school. And I had a tenant in my conference room. Now, again, I'm very good with my word. I'm not just going to shove them into anybody. So I told him, I can't show up. But let me tell you something. I cried all the way to my job, crying hysterically, saying, all I want to do right now is tell my boss to go fuck himself. And that's it. I'm done. I can't take this anymore because I saw her face. And seeing her, I swear to God, I saw myself in her age. Because I used to look at all the kids around me and think to myself, like, why? So anyways, you know, for my son, that really didn't happen because he had a grandmother. She was always there. And she would always, you know, I always made sure she knew how I felt about this. And we were very, very close. And she was always there for him. So she would make sure she was at all meetings. My bosses would know I had to be there. I never missed one of my kids' things. And if I did, daddy was there or his mother was there. Or it was always one of us three. With Maya now, my mom-in-law passed away a couple of years ago. She doesn't have that. It's not happening. It's not happening. And that's why even if I'm not where I need to be, and by June, I'm out. That's it. I'm done. I don't want to be this mother that I feel like at some point in my life, all the things I got to do, a little extra, like get pregnant at 16, was because I didn't have my mother there. My mother, she was there, but not there. You know, I never missed. There was not something I hate. People think sometimes like, oh my God, you poor kid. No, I had everything I needed, but I didn't have her. And that's so hard to me. So anyway, this beautiful dream of 20-something years that her and her sister built, that they end up with no jobs. Okay, the rug pulled out of their feet, under them. No job. Now they owe about $40,000 between both of them. Imagine to have to tell your employees 2 days before you quit, you're closing doors. We can't pay you because we don't have no money to pay you, and you're jobless. When you have at least 30 employees working for you who depends on you, okay? And this is exactly what they had to do. Did they hate my mother and my aunt? Absolutely. But this was like to them, they were so hurt because they thought my mother knew. My mother didn't know this. It was just the company came and gave her notice. She had one company she produced for, and she had production for, and they came and they said, we're sorry, but unless you can make, you know, you can do this at 2 cents, whatever the number was, probably not 2 cents, whatever it was. I see it as 2 cents. 2 cents, we can't give you the work. And obviously, unless her husband, and her sister stayed and worked everything in the production line by themselves, it wasn't going to happen. So they had to close. Now, imagine these women at the age of 40-something, no education because they barely made high school. Okay, and they both went to Newtown High School here in Queens. No college education because they knew that they liked fashion and they were going to go into fashion and have their own production line. They had their dream set up and they went for it. Never worried about saving money for tomorrow. Never thought, you know, like, what are we going to do? At the age of 40, they both had to look into becoming home attendants. I remember what those 4 years was like for these two women. Like, la pobrecitas, they would be traveling in trains, in buses, in cars, snowing all the way to exit 60-something of Long Island when we live in Queens to go take care of little ladies at $12 an hour, okay? And I, at that age, I was 20-something years old, and I'd be like, Mom, you spend more money in gas going over there. It's like, well, what? I need the insurance. What am I going to do? Like, they didn't program for any of this. So once I realized what this business was, I was like, oh, hell no, this is not going to happen to me. Oh, hell no, I'm not going to, like right now, where my mother is right now, if my mother drops dead tomorrow, God forbid, we're screwed. My siblings and I, we have to pay for everything. Like, there are months that I call them and I'm like, okay, what are we doing for them this month? They have nothing because they did not figure that, to them at the point that they were they were earning a good $2,000 a week, each of them. But remember, I told you they were sending money to DR for this house. Now they have a house that's half constructed each. It's not even done. They sell it and yeah, they get some money back. We lived off that money for like 2 years, literally. Imagine that. Now, do you want to know what my mother and her sister do? They work in a nursing home mopping, okay? Her sister is Johnny Hanson's mom. You know Johnny Hanson? Yeah. They're like freaking frat these two. When they die, I hate to say this, but they're going together because they've done everything together their whole entire life. They work in a nursing home, and it breaks my heart. My mother lives across the street from me. If I wake up at 4 a.m. to go drink water or whatever, I find myself looking out the window and seeing her turning on her car to drive to Long Island to Huntington to go clean floors. Okay? So my why is my mother. One of my biggest whys is getting her how to cook. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. But when it comes to my mother, I have a really weak spot. So, such a weak spot that I moved across the street from her. I bought a house across the street from her to be close. So imagine in these snowstorms to see your mother driving and thinking to yourself, really, is she ever going to make it back home? And knowing that you can do something to help her. So when I'm tired, really tired, and I'm in bed and I know I could do more, I get up from that bed. Because all I have to do is look out the window and know why I work my business. If it's 10 o'clock at night, I will get off my bed because I know that I'm not 60 years old and I still got a good 2.5 hours left to put in of work. And I bust my ass and I come here and I recruit all I can because it's the only way I'm going to get her out of that job. Okay? Because I want to give her what she gave me. And she feels very, I think that what makes me feel worse about this whole thing is that she feels that she wishes she could take time back because she knows she lost all that time. And she can't. She can't because she was too busy trying to give us a good life. So now it's my turn to do the same for her and to be there for my daughter. And eventually I'll have grandkids. So I have to be here for my grandkids too. So yeah, so that's my why story. It took me a while. Everybody, I kept trying, Audrey, Alisa, Saudi, they kept trying to break me down my why. It's very hard for me to understand my why, very, very hard. Because although I didn't know it, I resented her for it. For a long time, like I couldn't see how you left your kids. Yes, I had a nanny. Yes, I had my grandmother. My grandmother was always there, but you weren't there. And that's why with Maya, if you invite me to dinner and it's Monday through Saturday, I'm coming, but my daughter's coming with me. And it's sad, but some people are like, oh, can you come without your daughter? No. If her and I, this is our time. I really, really, really try really hard not to do something where she's not there. Because I never want her to feel not part of my life. And again, my mother never made me feel that way, but imagine you don't have your mother. You wake up, there's a nanny. You come home, there's a nanny. So to me, my Sundays, laying down on top of my mother's behind, watching Jackie Chan with her, was everything, everything. So that's why I am the way I am, my mother and my daughter, and maybe you'll understand me a little bit. I'm very family oriented. I like to do things with my family, and that is why. So, no more crying. I'm done. Did I there's always, like we talked the other day, Gabby, there's always something that there goes my mascara. When you're saying your story that that you add or that you forget, because like I was saying on that event that we had, the wine and cork event, or whoever was there, I wasn't supposed to talk about the suicide part in front of my daughter. There was something I never touched in front of her, always something I've been very stupidly, very scared to mention to her, because I just thought, like, why bring this up? Why make her alert of this, right? And Audrey and I are sitting there practicing, and while we're going over our slides, I keep saying to her, I'm reading mine. I get very nervous and I forget things and I go off track, and I'm not going to say this part. Somehow, some way, when it came out of my mouth, I was like, holy shit, what did I just say? And I just looked at her like, okay. And she gave me a thumbs up. And I was like, oh my God. And one of your girls, Cindy, said to me, she said, I just stood up and I just looked at your daughter. She said, I was ready to run to your daughter if she needed me. I was like, oh my God. If my daughter would have been crying, if she would have been upset, I would have been like, here, Audrey, you got this. You finish this off. This is all that matters. But what I'm trying to say is sometimes we hold off on our stories and we hold off on saying who we are. And we are doing such an injustice to people. Because if you guys, I swear, if I can send you a screenshot of the 17 counted messages I got from that day, you wouldn't believe it. And what it meant to me to hear from somebody like, thank you. Like, you don't understand. I didn't realize that this was holding me back. I have to talk about it. Or people, I posted the story once, or people just from anywhere, like, how do you get through this? How do you? I have faith in God, but how? And I'm like, you know what? There has to be something more powerful. You have to, it's not only your faith in God, it's your belief in God and your belief in you. And if you could sit there and curl up in a ball and cry all you want in bed, is that going to help you any? It's not. I have my days that I get depressed and I don't want to talk to anybody. Just leave me alone. And the first thing that I do is I pick up my Bible and I'm like, Lord, speak to me, please, because I need you right now. And there's so many people out there that just don't understand that you and I are just like them. And telling our stories is absolutely everything. Everything. Like that book from Simon Sinek, what is it called? Something about why. I think that's the name of it exactly. It's everything. Start with why. Exactly. Have you read that book? It's amazing. It's amazing, and that honestly is what led me to share my mother's story. Like I didn't realize that I had it so inside. Yeah, that I was just like, my God. And then after sharing my story, Gabby, you spoke to me and 2 other girls that day, and I was like, really? Like that meant something to somebody? Like you never imagine whose life you're gonna impact or change. Like even if it's one person, that's all that matters. So being like from the faces that I can see here, all of your posts are so much you guys. Like you guys are so much you and your life and your why. Well, not your why, your life. And you guys are doing exactly that. You're speaking to that person, but it's time to start sharing that story. We hold off for no reason. Because really, really, at the end of the day, this is the question that I ask myself. Is this story hurting my family? It's not. It's not. I'm not saying one of my life story. I could put a story out there that would hurt somebody in my family, but that's not me. Is it hurting my family? Is this going to hurt somebody? Or can this save somebody's life? And you know what? It can. Like somebody thought I posted it because it was suicide month. I was like, I don't even know it was suicide month. I'm sorry. I wasn't even thinking of that. I was just ready to share my story and didn't understand what was going to happen. I posted it on my like page and oh my God, I had somebody go ahead and come in and leave a very nasty comment. Like, you should have killed yourself. And I was like, unfriend. But the me from 3 years ago would have probably got in bed and been like, oh my God, not anymore. PZ is everything, guys. Sharing and having friends and this support, us, all of us, each other, having each other is everything. Is everything. Never ever, I have a lot of cousins and I have besties. I have 2 besties. That's it. I've never felt part of anything like I do now. This to me is everything. So share your stories. Be honest. We share stories sometimes and we're not 100% honest with ourselves. There's something always there that we can let go of. Let go, guys, because really, what does it matter? What does it matter if somebody thinks bad of you or somebody's not happy with your story? Let's delete them. Do they pay your bills? That's exactly how I feel. Like, are they doing anything for me and my family? No. Click, delete. And I'll think about it for 5 minutes and then I'll pray for the person. Like, there's cycles out there. Pay no attention to them. I was very scared at some point to share stuff about my kids, like pictures and stuff like that, because you never know. I still have a daughter who goes to school, and quién sabe si un loco viene por ahí. You know what I mean? But now it's just like, you know what, God, I have so much faith in God and believe in Him that I'm like, you gave me this business for a reason. I'm gonna follow. I'm gonna trust in you, and I'm gonna follow that you and know that you have my family. You're guarding my family day and night. A cycle's gonna come and go. Delete. Yes, Anna. Amen. So anyhow, yeah. So that's my my why story, and I'm sticking to it.
Amazing.
Thank you, Gabby.
You made me cry last time, and you made me cry today again.
I'm sorry. I honestly, I don't remember if I cried last time. I've gotten very strong about it.
You did.
Okay.
You did.
I have gotten very strong about it. Like, there's honestly, the more I guess time passes and you realize, because again, it wasn't a reflection of what my mother felt for me. It was a reflection of what she was trying to do for us.
Right. No, of course. And the reason I connect to that story is because my mom used to wake up at 5 a.m. for many years, since I can remember. When we came to the States, my mom used to clean houses. And, until I can remember, I think we pulled her out of work, my siblings and I, because she was getting sick. And so, just seeing her wake up, like you say, and especially travel long distances, and when it's snowing and it's cold, and you want to do so much, but you can't, right? So I definitely connect with your story very much so.
What does your mom do now, Gabby?
I'm sorry?
What does your mom do now?
No, she's not working anymore. She rotates between us. She's in North Carolina now, and she was here before. She'll go to my sister. Well, now my sister's next door, so but she'll go upstate when my sister was upstate. So now we have her home. But she feels like, even though she does so much for all of us, and now she, helps with her grandkids, she feels like she has to be doing something. So maybe she needs to become a coach. So.
Beautiful. My sister has twins, and I keep telling my sister, they're only 6 months and she's ready to come back. And she keeps saying, sis, we have to do this. I'm like, you really have to do this. You need mom to stay home with your kids.
Mm-hmm.
My kids are grown, but your kids are 2 little babies. Yeah, but it's in the plans for next year. We're both, I'm like, Mom, we're probably going to be off at the same time from work and thinking like, what the hell are we going to do with each other? She's like, oh no, we'll find something to do. I'm like, oh, I'm sure we will. Take me to the flea market. Take me here.
Right. Oh, you'll find stuff.
Yeah. Okay. And the other stuff was, we were talking, I had a call. Audrey likes me to talk about this cycle stuff. I'm not no genius at this. I just know I'm a pure emerald, and I like to know that's what clicked when it came to the business. I had a check. I think I had like 3 cycles, 3 $14 cycles, deposited into my bank account. And I was like, what the hell is Beachbody taking money out? Because of course, when you're looking at your statement, you're not looking at minus or plus, you're looking at Team Beachbody, the amount. And I was like, the hell is taking out our money for? So I'm like calling them, and they're like, no, we deposited money into your account. I'm like, why would you do that? Like, nobody's mentioned this whole team cycle thing to me. And they're like, oh no, because you're now an emerald coach. Now, your left leg and your right leg. And I'm like, huh? So I call Lisa. I'm like, I don't know. They put some money in my account. What the hell is this? And Lisa says to me, you need to start working. You need to start going to the back office and reading. And I'm like, okay, maybe I won't do this anymore. And she's like, idiot, it's money in your account. It's team cycles. It's because of the people below you. Say thank you to them. And I'm like, okay. So of course now the money keeps growing. Now I'm interested because now I want to know how I'm going to make this money grow. So let me see if I can share. Hold on a second. I basically made a presentation for Audrey's team, and I used, give me 1 second, guys, because I do not know how to use this thing. I need my daughter.
There's at the bottom of the screen, there's like a little box, like a square with an arrow, and it says share screen. You see it?
No, yes, that I.
Oh.
Yeah.
Did you just say I need my daughter?
You did.
That's funny. I say the same thing all the time.
She's always like, Mom, I got this.
I don't know how to use my Mac, and my daughter is like, Ma, just like this.
Yeah. Okay, I know how to share. Here we go. Let me open.
I thought you didn't know how to share the screen, so.
No, I do.
I'm like, wait a minute, but you're the one who runs the Zoom all the time for Leadwell.
Here, let me.
There we go.
Can you guys see the screen?
Yes.
Okay. It's a lot of gibberish, but I'll explain. So, does everybody here know what Team Cycle is? I can't see everybody's faces, but if you don't,
yes.
Okay. Yep. If you don't, unmute yourself and let me know. So, I should have, but I don't know you guys well enough to have done something like this and not know that you guys were going to call Gabby and be like, what a biatch. Like, why would you do that? So, but I did do this to one of Audrey's girls. I went into the back office and wanted to see what her volume was like. So this one person this was on a Tuesday morning, had volume of 7,371 on her left leg. Her right leg had 0, okay? If this person, Ingrid, her name is, decided to build her business, okay, and decided to work that weak leg, and she was an emerald coach, she would have earned $504 that day just because of team cycles. Nothing to do with retail. Absolutely nothing. Okay? If she was a Ruby coach because you cycle at $16 per cycle, she would have earned $576, and a diamond would have earned $648. So what did this do to Ingrid? She went to her back office and she wanted to figure out why, like how she was going to do it. So I'm going to tell you guys, I'm going to show you another entry here. How do I, hold on a second. See, this is something that I don't know how to do. How do I rotate the second page? Hold on. I think it's this way. There we go. Okay, this is another person. Okay, if you guys notice here, her left leg is 7,596 and her right is 105, which means you guys know the 200, 100. And please don't say yes if you mean no, because after Audrey's call, everybody said yes, 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 and then send me messages. And I'm like, this is why we're on the call. I don't care. This is I want to explain this. It's not the easiest thing in the world if people don't pay attention to it and realize it, especially if you're not cycling. Beachbody, you have two legs and you know this, your left leg and your right leg. So what's supposed to happen is every time your strong legs, it doesn't have to be a strong leg. In my case, I always say strong because I have a very strong leg and a very weak leg. Every time one of your leg is 200 and the other one is 100, you have one cycle. So this can happen numerous times, okay? And what's happening to Izzy here is if she would have had 3750 on her right leg, you guys see that she only has 105? She would have cycled 37 times. Are you guys understanding that? So she would have, if she was an emerald, 518. If she was a ruby, 592. If she was a diamond, 666. This is only because of her team. Now, if she has somebody under her cycling as well, if she was a ruby coach, she gets 5% of whatever her coach cycles. If she was a diamond coach, she gets 10% of whatever her coach cycles. Are you guys understanding that? So basically, she would have her 666 as a diamond coach, and let's say Gabby was her coach, and Gabby earned 500 in team cycle. She would have had 666 plus $50 only because of her team. Nothing to do with her selling challenge packs that week. Are you guys getting me? Okay. I'm not going to do this third one, but let me do this little. Okay, so how do you build? How do you build your weak leg? How do you maximize your cycles? So basically, building emeralds. So if your weak leg is so weak, let's say your weak leg is at 0, start helping your coaches. Start telling everybody you bring into the business, you must have 2 people you can help. Let's add them as coaches. Maybe your mother, maybe your sister. Everybody has somebody. Add somebody. You have a friend. Let's help them. So what happens is when you add this PS coach and they add 2 and they become an emerald, boom, there goes 270 PVs for your leg. Each emerald is worth 270 in team volume for you. And guys, I'm going to be really honest. It took me a while to understand this. It took me a very long time. And now the minute I get a coach, I'm like, oh, you're going to become an emerald. And they're looking at me like I'm crazy. And I'm like, no, you don't understand. This is going to help you. And it's going to help them. And it's going to help. And I'm very honest. And it's going to help me. For some time, I was very scared of saying that they were also helping me. But there's nothing wrong with telling somebody that we're all helping each other. And honestly, I noticed that when you tell people the truth, it works so much better. Because now I look back to the time when I told Saudi, is this going to help you? Is this going to benefit you? And she said, she was very honest with me. And I'm like, you know what? Let me try this. And it works, guys. If you tell people they're helping you, they're going to do it. I mean, obviously, some are going to, have something to say. But so you guys understand what's happening here? So every time you build an emerald, so if let's say this is me. If I build 4 emeralds, I'm able to cycle 10 more times in this week period. Do you guys understand why? Because if you calculate 270 times 4, that's more than 1,000. So I'm now cycling 10 times more. Do you guys all get this? Does anybody have a back office that they want to go to and we want to look into?
I have a question. So the emeralds, you get the 270 once they become an emerald, and that's it. Like it's a one-time deal.
No.
No, every month.
Get out.
Every month, because remember.
Holy shit.
So the first month.
Oh, that's only if they have like the two active coaches. Got it. Okay.
Right, because of the psychology shipping.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. Have you guys all used the team cycle calculator? So all it really is assuring that you get customers that are keeping their Shakeology HD. Because that's 90, 90, 90. Every customer is 90. So remember, you need 10 more points for one cycle. So if you just keep adding, if you have a team, I forget the number that I was oh, you know what? Hold on a second. I can look at it on my phone. Give me 1 second.
This is very confusing for me.
Tell me, who's me?
Yo no hallo ni cómo decir porque it took you a while to learn, right? Yeah, I don't have any like this week I had somebody that asked me, it was like somebody that wanted the 21-day fix. I tell her about the discount, right up front. And she's like, is this going to benefit you in some way? And I'm like, I didn't know what to say, I was kind of scared to say, well, yeah, in a way, and plus if she didn't seem too comfortable me saying, well, you are going to save some money, I said, and I don't know, I don't know what else, and then she didn't respond back to me. And then we're doing this 21-day challenge group, and I sent her the invite because it was pending. I mean, she did not respond back to me after she said, is this gonna benefit you, So I don't know. I don't know, this happened to me, but I don't know.
You know what? I'm going to be honest. You'll have one person. You'll have one or two people that are like, I see. Esta nada más quiere ganar dinero. Because remember, it used to be.
Yeah.
Gabby reached out to you. Did something not cross your mind that, is this real or does she just want to make money? We're human.
Yeah.
But then people like her that are probably like, I know she's just, going to waste her money. She's just looking to make money. But you know what? She's going to come to you a year from now, because I've had it happen a lot of times. I have people that a year ago questioned me, drove me crazy. We got on calls, and they'll come back and they're like, oh my God, your team is killing it. I want to join you now. Mm-hmm. And all it is consistency. So don't drive yourself crazy with being honest with people and telling them exactly it's the truth. Yes, I am not afraid to say anymore. I can help you lose weight. I can help you regain control of how you feel with your life, of yourself, with your marriage. This business has saved, not the business alone, the challenges, has saved marriages, because I've seen it happen in front of me. I've seen people literally at the verge of breaking down, like, that's it, I'm moving out, get the hell out of my house, to like, really, you guys are like all over each other now? Because when you're not happy with yourself, you're not happy, period, and yeah.
Right.
So that being said, she's probably not happy with herself right now. Let her be. Keep posting. Keep, sharing your team results and your results, because they're incredible. And you'll see.
Thank you.
She's gonna come back to you and be like, "All right, I'm tired of sitting down and watching you. I want to be part of your team."
And another thing that I have to add is, think about this, Menke. Everything is an exchange. When she goes to get her hair done, she has to pay someone to look pretty. When she goes to get her nails done, she has to pay them. So they're benefiting from her money, but she's also benefiting from that service, because she comes out, with her nails done. And it's the same way with buying clothes, with buying groceries, with buying anything for ourselves. We're putting out, there's a money exchange. So yes, she's going to pay for a service, but ultimately at the end of the day, that's going to benefit her. And of course, is going to benefit your business. So, and it's an exchange, and you can explain it to her that way so that you can feel comfortable and she can feel comfortable as well.
Okay.
Exactly.
I say that if somebody's worried about whether you're making some money out of helping them, then that's not the right person to deal with, to me. It's a little like, why are they so worried about you making money? They shouldn't be worrying about that. They should be worrying about themselves.
Because they're scared. That's it. They're scared and they know they need help, but they still have that wall up completely. They still, they're asking questions, trying to figure it out. If this is right. They're nervous. There's a lot of people that like Melitza, that it takes a few tries, and at the end of the day, some people, they're ready right away, the first conversation you have, but some people are hesitant, and they're hesitant because, they've been through a lot, because they don't trust people. So you have to, make them feel comfortable, and you have to, basically gain, that trust that you really, at the end of the day, want to help them. Yes, this is a business, but at the end of the day, we change lives, and that's what I'm here for. So if you're not ready now, that's fine. You keep watching me. You're going to see all the future and upcoming changes and transformations of all my challengers and coaches. And then eventually they're going to come around, so it's nothing against you. Never take it personal, because at the end of the day, it's just their own insecurities that's stopping them from moving forward.
Very true.
Perhaps I should keep an eye out for more
feel bad.
surprises.
That's what I tell them. I had somebody. So when we had this event, the Wine and Cork event, I had somebody 3 nights before. Basically, oh my God, this woman literally, she broke me. She broke me. Like, I've never been like, oh hell no, I don't even want to freaking sell you a challenge. I was like, that night I took my phone, I slammed it on the bed, and I walked away. I was like, oh, esta mujer quiere joder conmigo. Like, there's no way. Crazy. She literally told me, she was like, first of all, I want to know, she goes, tell me about this program. So after I do the 5 steps and I'm like forming this woman and, really talking to her, learning about her, she will not tell me anything about her life. Like, not even how much weight she has to lose. I can tell it's a lot. But I'm like, oh, God, please be patient. So this is all through Instagram. So you know how stressful Instagram could be with the DMs, because you don't get sometimes notifications. But I have my open now because I'm like waiting for her to respond. So she's like, well, I'm going to have to think about it. I'm like, okay, I'm like, I'm always going to be here if you need me. Let me know, blah, blah, blah. She tells me, so first of all, I want to know something. How did you find me on Instagram? And I'm like, uh-oh. So I'm like, well, I'm going to be really honest with you. I said, I found you because I have a service, which is so not true. I said, I pay a service to find women like me, women who want to lose weight, who want to be healthy. And you must have been looking for some diet products or something to lose weight. And if it put you as part of my, of the people that I'm looking for. And she's like, oh, she didn't buy that. So then she comes back and she's like, all right, I'm going to keep thinking. All of a sudden I get a request on Facebook and it's her, but a different picture. So I always send a thank you to the person. And I'm like, thank you for requesting me. She goes, yeah, because I'm still trying to figure out how do you find me. And I'm like, oh my God. So now we're leaving each other voice messages. I said, listen, I'm going to be really honest. You probably think I'm a stalker. I was in love with your husband. I don't know what you think about me, but you can delete me. I said, this is my business, and I try to help people change your lives. So she sees we have a friend in common. Did Jesse, I'll tell you something about me. I'm like, oh my God. She's like going crazy like, and I'm like, listen, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know you. I didn't request you. My little program requested you, but still being nice. Do you know that day that we had the Wine and Cork, Hector's talking to me and he's like, you need to share more. You need to share more. You need to share it out there. Your team knows, but does everybody else know? Do the people who don't know Melitza know? And I'm like, okay, Hector, I'm going to freaking post it tomorrow morning. I need to go home and do something tonight. So I go home and I write my post, but I post it the next morning. So you know what by the way, she bought a challenge bag that Friday and before the event. She hits me up and she says, oh my God, now I understand why God led me to you. She said, there's a reason why God led me. I kept asking him, show me why this woman, like, what does she want from me? She said, in due time, I'll reveal a lot. I'm just not ready. And I said, that's fine. You never have to tell me anything more than what you want to. I said, I want to see your scale picture. I want to see your before and after pictures in 30 days because I know you're not comfortable showing to me right now. I said, but show me your scale picture. That's all I want. I said, and then we can talk about your story. Well, let me just tell you, ladies, I'm not at liberty to share her story, but these last 2 weeks, whatever it's been, 1-2 weeks, have been like, I want to sit down and cry with her every single night. And I'm like, this is why we have to share. And this is why we can't, pay attention to people who are going to want to break us and say stupid things like, are you making money? Yes, I'm making money. This is my time and service. I'm not here at 12:30, midnight, checking your stats because I want to be your best friend. I'm here because this is my business, and I committed to you. You know, like, dude, I think I have a lot of more important things to be doing at 12:30 midnight. Trust me. You know, and she's like, you don't sleep, and this is what I said to her that night. She said, do you ever sleep? She must think I'm a total stalker. This is before she got to know me. She goes, do you ever sleep? I go, actually, I do. I said, but right now I'm dealing with my clients. And, you know, if I promise them something, I have to comply. So that is why you can't care about what everybody thinks. You have to focus on, you have to have such a goal that nothing matters while you're walking there. Nothing. Like, somebody's going to come and push you out of that block or push you out of that street for whatever reason. Just get right back on, because we're human. And it will happen. Life will break you because it happened. But you have to be strong enough, and you have to believe that why has to be very powerful. And I know that there's some of you here that probably have not found that why. You know, don't keep looking for it. Ask God to show it to you, to bring it to surface. Because the more you keep looking, the harder it's going to become. And if you have to keep looking for something that's that important, you know, there's something not right. Don't look for that why. It's going to come. You know, like, start writing. You know when it started happening for me, Gabby? When Saudi made me write. She was like, I need to see your story. And I'm like, what the hell do you need to see my story for? Like, with that and PD, you can ask her. I drove her up a wall. When she would talk to me about PD, I'm like, this bitch is crazy. She needs PD. Like, has she not seen herself? You need to go PD, not me. Like, I didn't realize the importance of it. I didn't realize how important it was, because it's like when somebody tries to break you, you hop right back onto that PD, and you feel indestructible. Like, one of the books that one of my go-to books, you can come in, honey. One of my go-to books is The Entre Leadership. This shit is real. Like, it will I can feel this little, and all I have to do is open one of these pages. So if a book of PD has the power of doing that to you, guys, don't let anything bring you down, or anybody, because people will. Your own family members will. Gabby, did you click on that link that Audrey sends us from Leadership with that guy? What's his name?
When did she send it?
The guy that was speaking. Remember when she was sending all the notes to us?
Yes.
Did you subscribe?
I did. I haven't gotten anything yet.
Okay.
Oh wait, no, I did. I got the recording. I haven't opened the email.
Okay. Share it with your team.
Was it from the meeting? Was it from Leadership or no?
He basically, what he does is like, I guess it's like an intro so everybody can know who he is. He's a CEO of Primerica.
Right.
He talks about how your family members, like, how are you going to pay attention to somebody who's selling hot dogs in the street? Like, why would you take advice from somebody who has no dreams? Like, talks about dream killers. Oh my God. My team was on fire. One of my guys was like, he was 2 away from Diamond the day I gave it to him. This morning, he's like, are you ready for a male Diamond? I was like, really? He's like, this man made me think in every which way. Like, really, really, there's so many people that are so fucking full of excuses. Excuse my French. Like, we wake up and we have so many excuses. We have excuses to have excuses. And this is what he talks about. You have to give this.
Yeah. Okay. So I haven't. Yeah, I saw the email because it took a while for it to arrive.
Yes, it did. And I
did see that it came through. So okay, great.
Very, very powerful. I was trying to open here. I'm going to show you the one that Alisa sent me. For some reason or another, I can't. Hold on a second. I cannot. Here, let me share this one. Okay, now what I got to do to change. Okay. What do I have to do to change the share page now? Stop this share, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to share with you guys the team. I'm going to show you the team thingy. Ay, conchalo, ¿qué he hecho? I am so not techie. This is horrible. Share screen. Okay. So do you guys, have any of you guys seen this before?
Oh, the calculator, right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. This calculator will tell you everything that I just told you, except it's going to build a vision for you. So you see how this person's weekly goal is $1,000 a week? So it's basically telling you that as a diamond, if you have a goal of $1,000 per week, you need 56 cycles. And it shows you the breakdown of weak leg and strong leg. And it also shows you what your team needs to be selling on shake for you to be able to make this happen. This is my Bible. So I literally don't count any of the challenge packs sold in my team as a challenge pack. I count it as a shake HD. It's exactly what it is. And we're working really, really, really hard on showing everybody the value of a shake. And this is when we have them become a coach, the way we tell them, we're not talking about only, you're going to save money. I basically say to them, you have 40 pounds to lose, which means that you need to be on the shake at least 3 months. So let's save you some money and let's make you a coach. And this is how I bring them on. And I try everything possible to keep them on 3 months. Because if your team is selling between you and all of your downline, also this will include, I don't know what your legs look like. I can look later. But this will also include anybody who you can see in your back office that's not yours. So I'm sure most of you can see Gabby's coaches. Anybody that Gabby adds, some of you can see and some of you can't. It's the name of the game. Sorry. Gabby and I were talking about this the other day. I see one person from my upline. Okay, so I am blessed with earning over $1,000 a week thanks to you guys. Thanks to Audrey's team, thanks to Elisa's team, and now thanks to my week leg, which I'm building because my second business center is there, but not because of my upline. So if you don't see anybody right now, don't drive yourself crazy. Audrey never saw anybody and she built an empire. So basically this business is on you. So I'm gonna find this calculator where I could share it because Elisa sent it to me view only and I have it at my desktop at work because I do go on.
I think I have it.
Oh yeah, so share it with them.
Yeah, I think I have it saved. I don't know if it's in our team admin though, to be quite honest, but I do have it on my computer, so I'll put it on team admin.
Yeah, because you know what I notice happens when you see this number, things become a little bit clearer. So I literally have, I can't show you guys. I don't know how to do this thing here. I literally have a board where I write like the number of shakes that I need and I start crossing off. Like I am in my back office daily. I wake up and before I pick up my Bible, I think I really bad, but it's the truth. I open my back office and I look at sales. You know what? This is my business. Mm-hmm. This is where my mother's going to benefit from. This is how my mother's going to live. This is how I'm going to live and my kids are going to live. So I come back in here and I look at everything. And that number, that 523 number, if that's the number that the weekly earning goal that I have, that's the number that I'm trying to get to 600, not to 523. I'm not looking at 523. I'm trying to double it to make it a little bit higher. So use the calculator.
So this one is the weekly. I'm using my mouse, not that you can see it. But one of them gives you the weekly and the other one breaks it down by month.
Mm-hmm. So it shows you like if you have 62 sales, I always go by the strong leg. So if you have 124 sales on that week, not you alone, obviously a team, you're gonna get to that goal. So now you know that now you guys know that our bread and butter is Shakeology. Mm-hmm. Selling a challenge pack just is not enough. We have to keep retention. We have to keep selling Shakeology and keep pushing and promoting it. And not only talking about, that's another thing that we talk a lot about Shakeology for weight loss. But what about for all the other benefits? Mm-hmm. Like I used to be a chronic anemic. I could not donate blood. I now happily walk into the blood room and I'm like, okay, take it out. And you're like, this girl's insane. But you had to have had anemia to understand this. Mm-hmm. I also used to, my hair never, okay, look how much hair I have. Never would pass from here. Okay? My hair grows, I cut my hair religiously every 6 weeks. So it's all the little benefits. I don't remember who I was listening to because if you ask me, I'm the worst with remembering names. I was listening to somebody talking about how people, they buy what they see from you. Not what you're always talking about. So if you're posting on your page, here, my Shakeology, it's so good for me. Don't post that it's good for you. Put why it's good for you. Mm-hmm. Like, you know how good it is to wake up in the morning and make my breakfast in 1 minute and know that I'm having the best breakfast possible. And obviously not taking a picture like this, please. But just talking about why, I used to eat bacon, egg, and cheese and a freaking Coke for breakfast. Like you tell me is my lifestyle not different now?
Yeah.
So, you know, I mean, and I used to stop and wait in line and be late for work 20 minutes because I was waiting for something. So all these stupid little things that's us seem stupid, this is what we got to start sharing.
Mm-hmm.
What is this? So yeah, so that's it.
Awesome.
That is all I can tell you guys. You know, if you have questions on your numbers and your back office, and if right now you have zeros and you don't see any team value, don't drive yourself crazy. Start building a team and start. You know what? This is something that I just learned maybe last year, which is really sad because I really wasn't. I was a hobby coach. I like the money, but I was a hobby coach. I have to be very honest with you guys. I never really thought that I could leave my job until early last year. One thing that you guys have to do is work levels deep. Mm-hmm. Work with your coaches. Work 3 levels, work 5 levels below. And it doesn't matter who you're helping, but help. There's a reason why they come to you. If they believe in you, you know, help them. And if you don't have the answer, we don't have the answers to anything. You know, when they talk about the 70 ingredients of psychology and why not to learn all of them, I probably know 4. I'm not kidding. Mm-hmm. But when somebody mentions something that's like a herb, I'm like, oh yeah, that's in psychology. even if it's not, I'm like, oh shit, I just told somebody this was in psychology, and I'm like, oh no, they just removed it for whatever reason. Like, I'll figure it out. But what I'm trying to say is, guys, you don't need to know everything about psychology. You know enough that it helps people lose weight, that it helps people, you know, regain their strength and have energy. So that's what you guys got to stick to.
Any questions, ladies and Jen? We have a Jen.
Thank you.
Sometimes we have 2, but the one behind me took the little one over there. So
he's working. He's working with you.
I
love that.
He jumps on the calls now, so I love it.
Yeah, I see.
He was here, pero se lo llevó porque estaba actuando.
That's very emotional. That's a beautiful feeling. Next year we'll all be with our hubbies in leadership.
That's right.
Who's coming with us to leadership next year? I'm like, I can't see all the faces here. I don't know.
Me.
Hold on, I'm gonna stop sharing.
Yeah, you can stop sharing. There you go.
So I could see faces. Who's trying to make it to the one in January?
New leader conference.
To the new leader conference, yeah.
They all have their.
I can't see. I can only see Anna and you. I don't know what I did, but okay. I'm sure you guys all look beautiful.
Okay. No, I don't.
Who's that? Oh, Anna.
Mm-mm. I have a question. I don't know if you mentioned this in the beginning because I have my son bothering me for a second. But at what point during your, quote unquote, discovering your why did you feel comfortable talking about it?
I already watched that.
I fought myself, to be really honest with you. And when that meeting that Gabby's talking about, I honestly was not going to share that. I was not what I was talking about. It just slipped out because sometimes God does that to you. Sometimes there's somebody there that needs to hear what you have to say. So I would say that was probably 4 or 5 months. I was coming slowly. I was talking to my team about it. Like, I would sit down with my team, with my PS coaches, but it took a while. But you know what? It's because I wasn't personally developing how I needed to. Because if I would have been where I am now, daily personally developing, honestly, I probably would have done it the week later, or maybe the same day. So that's, yeah, it's a state of mind. It's basically believing in yourself. I mean, Gabby and I have had this conversation when we're like talking about, we're going to go take classes together. You know, if we have to speak in front of people, because she knows I'm like her, like, oh my God, I'm like, when it comes time to speaking, I'm a freaking mess. But you know what? I've also learned that, like, what makes you any different than me? Like, how am I better than you? Are you better than me? Like, what are you going to do? Laugh because I'm reading? You know what? Don't pay attention to me. I'm going to read because I forget. I see people's faces and I get nervous and I'll forget what I'm talking about. So I read. But you know what? Before I do anything now, I pray. I literally say a prayer to God and say, there's somebody here that needs to hear something I have to say. You know, help me. Help me have a message for somebody. So I put him, which is something I wasn't doing, and I owe this all to Audrey. Help me be able to help somebody. Somebody on this call is probably going to be like, what the fuck is she talking about? But somebody else is going to be like, oh my God, I needed to hear this. And that's the purpose of you being on a call. I can't hear you, Gabby.
But at least one person.
Yeah, and that's all that matters, you know? Like, I was so scared of that other person, like of that judgmental person who's going to be like, yeah. But I don't care. Nobody can scare me anymore. And it's all because of God put me in this state of mind. It's a state of mind, to be very honest. I think the first step, if you have not shared your story with your coach, share it. Because you'd be very surprised. When I shared my story with Saudi, we were on the phone for 3 hours that night. Like, we didn't realize how similar we were. We had so many things in common. So then I was like, okay, now PD. Now I'll listen to some PD. Because now I think I need it. But
Gabby, get ready. It's going to be like a whole day.
Con Saki?
But no, my story.
Por eso, y con Saki.
Oh, yeah, that, 'cause I can't drink.
no, I mean,
Thank you, Melitza.
anytime, honey. I'm sure Gabby's ready. You have an amazing coach.
I do.
Yeah. Oh, thank you guys.
You guys actually have a coach. I have to call Saudi and be like, Steph, mommy, and she starts laughing at me. She's like, don't say that. You know you're mine. And I'm like, it's not the same.
It's not.
So it's nice to have an upline coach that cares, actually. I consider, even though Audrey's in my downline, like she's Dalisa's coach, I consider Audrey my upline. I come to her for everything. I feel like I have a mentor. So that's another thing you have to stick to. If Gabby is that person for you, or maybe in between, like I don't go to Dalisa, I go to Audrey. I feel comfortable with her. You know, she's not part of my family. She's not going to judge me. And she's actually taught me how to, she keeps reminding me how much greatness I have in me and how not to be scared. Because at the end of the day, it's being scared. Like, who are you scared of? If God put you here, it's for a reason. What does it matter what anybody else thinks? My husband listens to me talking sometimes. He's like, who are you? I don't even know you. Like, yeah, I don't even know myself sometimes. What did I just say? So don't be scared. Share that story with Gabby, and then you're going to see how much better you're going to feel.
I will.
But it's Melitza, it's you, and then Dalisa, and then Audrey, yes?
It used to be me, Dalisa's mother, and Dalisa, and Audrey.
Wait, you, Dalisa's mom? Oh, and then really?
Yeah, she wasn't at the right state of mind. Like, she wasn't on the beach body stage of mind, and she quit. But she's back now.
Oh,
Yeah,
awesome.
she's back now she's back. Actually, she even made it to Diamond with me.
Oh, wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, but she wasn't ready for it, and it wasn't the time.
Right.
And now basically she's with Dalisa, but she comes to me for everything because she's like, before Dalisa yells at me, can you tell? I'm like, all right. Yeah. So I tell her, and it's so cute because she's like, Mel, if only I would have listened to you then, because she was the top person on my power leg.
Wow.
And her volume when she quit was at 16,000.
What?
On a Wednesday. Now she starts at 0.
Are you kidding me? All that? Oh, wow.
Oh,
yeah.
See, and now she's probably kicking herself in the booty.
Yeah, you know what? The time that she took off, she actually listened to a lot of PD.
Good.
She feels like, you know what? I'm not gonna cry about the 16,000 PV. I'm gonna rebuild, and I'm gonna do this. And I'm like, okay. And I tell her, like, this is what you gotta do. We work together. And now she's like, oh my God, I feel like a real coach now. I felt like a fake then. And I'm like, okay, this is, there's always a time for everything. And this is her time.
I would have said, just pay $15.95.
You know what? She was, but the honest truth was she was paying, but one day she got really fed up, which is another thing. When you're not doing PD, it's very easy to get fed up with people. It's very easy to let people, creep on and get you mad. She called Coach Relations like 3 times in 1 week, and they got to her. And she was like, fuck this shit, I'm quitting. I'm like, Mary, over Coach Relations? Are you kidding me? And she quit. And she told me she was quitting, and I got an email. And I was like, you know what, God? I called Audrey. I was like, Audrey. Audrey was like, let it happen, Mel. Let it happen. I know it's hard. It's your family. Let it happen. And I was like, okay. And look now. So nothing bad came out of it because I got Dalisa as a diamond, and a steady diamond at that. No, but I knew she wasn't going anywhere. You know what I mean? So good things. And now the best part about it is now it's her daughter. So she calls me and she tells me, what do I need to do to make sure I'm helping Dalisa?
Wow.
It's Success Club 6.
That's what happens.
Yep, exactly. Now you know, like, I
God
never,
never makes mistakes.
yes, yep. So she always,
God was rearranging it.
That's right.
you know, and it's beautiful too because now she gets posts from Melitza acknowledging her. So she feels so special when she gets it. She's like, oh my God, she loves me. And I'm like, she's always
What's her name?
Mary Rosario.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so she's really excited.
Very nice.
She's actually in Alisa's second business center, which
Okay.
is the business center that Alisa works. I told her, I said, you're gonna see those 16,000 in a matter of months. Give it months, because Alisa's building like crazy there.
Good.
Yeah. Yes, yes, yes.
Well, anyway, we won't take up more of your time because I know Sundays, is hubby and your night. But we truly appreciate you telling your story with us, the power of the story, and for sharing the PV, the volume tricks. And I'll post the calculator for you ladies. And if anyone has any questions about how to plug in the numbers, we can do a call on that, or we can do one-on-one, and then we can figure out how you guys can work yourself. What is it? It's called reverse engineer.
Yes.
The reverse engineer.
Powerful.
Yep. And you can start with 500 a week and then move up to 1,000.
Mm-hmm.
The idea is to meet those goals. So
Exactly. I have people that are doing them just because they're trying to pay off that cell phone bill. Like, oh, all I'm worried about is $200 a month. That it's so powerful to understand that. I was so stupid when Saudi kept mentioning to me, but you don't want to work. And I'm like, oh, because I was like, what the hell is $300 going to do in my house? Obviously, but yeah, like if I would have been a little bit smarter, those $300 would have helped my mother. I would have been building. You know what I mean? But it wasn't my time. This is my time.
that's right.
Hi, Kelly. God bless. Oh, cute. You know what, Gabby? I was talking to Audrey and the girls. I'm going to open up my house on Friday nights. If you guys ever want to come over, and we'll do wine and just mastermind. I've been inviting my coaches and it's been working wonders. What we've been doing is sitting together and I'm like, all right, let's plan our calendar for the week. Nobody leaves until all of our posts are not Hootsuite or buffered. Like whatever really needs to be Hootsuite or buffered. And we have an amazing time. So if you guys want to come over, we don't have to really work, but we can spend some time together. I would love it.
Amazing.
Let me know when you guys want to pass.
Right? You used to do that before in the past?
I did. We used to get together like almost every other Friday night. But I don't know. Like I said before, life gets in the way and you start, I think I got into this mode of self-doubt. And there goes PD again. It was I wasn't doing my personal development. And I don't know. And I blamed myself when my coaches started dropping their diamond rank. I used to blame myself. I blamed myself for it happening. And I didn't. I was in the mode that I was like, you know what? I'm going to work for myself and I'll let them deal with their own stuff. And it's so stupid. It's such a poor mentality because honestly, if we work together, we can get so much more accomplished. Like to say to your coaches, to your upline or even to your downline, like, let's work together means a lot because you never know, who really, like I noticed with my coaches, they need to have their hands held. They need to feel like I have a whole bunch of sapphires and they need to be at a place working together. And you know what? My husband's not home till 12 o'clock at night on Friday. So what else am I doing?
So you're doing that every Friday? Is that what you're doing?
Every Friday we come over here. Mm-hmm.
From what time on?
I get home like at 7:45. So 7:45 until whenever you guys want to leave. I don't throw anybody out.
Where do you live, Melitza?
Toda esta gente.
No, you've been to my house, no, Gavin?
No, I've never been.
My living room is pretty big. So my living room, my dining room is open. So I bring chairs from my son's apartment, and we have a good time. We've been like 30 something of us here.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Where do you live?
In East Elmhurst.
Okay.
By LaGuardia Airport.
Yeah.
And if you guys ever want to do something, Gabby, if you want to do something with your team in my conference room on a Friday night as well, let me know.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you for the offer. I appreciate that. But really, thank you so much for spending I know that today is your, your date night with your hubby. So I tell him thank you too.
Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate you guys. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a wonderful night. And thank you, guys, I always used to say ladies, and I have to remember now that Rudy's on the call. So I have to remind myself. And thank you. I should say ladies and Rudy.
Thank you.
For joining. Have a great night.
Honey, bye. Take care.
Bye.
Have a good night, guys.
Bye.